Hello everybody. It is Monday and it's early afternoon and it's hotter than hell. It's 98.5. Now, thank goodness I'm not in the south with like 98% humidity. But honestly, even though that's hot and it's healthier than having this dry heat, because it's hard to produce, especially when we're on a stage 3 drought. The last thing, we're trying to conserve water, but yet dry as a bone and aging 10 times faster than we should. Oh, I used to work in the Pacific Islands all the time, and I hated the humidity heat when I first got there, but I really got used to it, and my body got used to it, and I really enjoyed it after a while. Now, I mean, it can get ridiculously hot and unbearable. That I understand. We don't have air conditioning here in Colorado. Well, I'm way west Denver. I'm like a suburb, almost close. I'm in the foothills, so kind of goldenish. And like I said, stage 3 drought. We had hardly any winter, very little snowpack, and it just made life miserable. I'm enjoying the summer, even as hot as it is. But anyway, I'm inside. Thought I'd do something different. I'm making some tuna salad. I guess for myself, because I don't know if anybody in the house is going to eat it. Nobody knows what the hell they want. My granddaughter doesn't do tuna. She doesn't do chicken. So I don't know. She is the pickiest damn eater. And one of my kids, my middle child, was extremely picky too. And it took years for her to, and now she eats anything. So I keep telling myself she'll grow out of it, as long as I keep her away from as much sugar as I can. I'm cutting up my homegrown parsley and my homegrown onions for my tuna salad. I like a lot of veg in there. So I've been soaking these in some cool water, although I have these onions, these green onions or spring onions, whatever you want to call them. I keep them forever in the fridge. And I did forget to change the water. I put a plastic bag over them. I do that a lot with a lot of herbs. One thing I have learned, I'm sure where it's humid, you don't leave things on the counter because they mold. Well, here, you don't leave things on the counter because they turn to dust. And I'm used to, as growing up and being taught to leave certain vegetables on the counter, even in water, because they'll shrivel when they get into the fridge. I never ever once put garlic, potatoes, tomatoes, things like that in the fridge, or even fruit. But I have learned, and that is saying a lot with regarding our food production system, is things don't last. My potatoes don't last where I would normally keep them. My onions don't last. They mold, and they won't even sprout. They just mold. This garlic is the first time this is store-bought garlic, because my garlic went to dust. My 2 years ago, the garlic that we grew just turned to dust, and I've had some store-bought garlic actually go to dust sitting out too, which is an anomaly. I don't know. So I put this in the fridge, which of course you have to be careful. I put it in a baggie in the fridge. You have to be careful with that though, because then it starts to mold the older it gets. It gets wet. I had to cut off some of the bottoms, and so then therein lies another problem. It's sprouting, which I don't mind because it's kind of cute. I might even put a couple of these in a pot. I like garlic tops. If I don't have garlic, then might as well have that. Several years ago, when I knew things were going to start to get bad, and I was part of Amazon, I'm not anymore. Congrats, Misty. Got rid of that nasty thing. But I had a reoccurring order for Wild Planet tuna when it wasn't terribly expensive, and I was buying this by the case. I think this is my last one because I love my dogs so much. I do give my dogs this occasionally. I think I have a case somewhere around here. There might be some, I don't know where it is. But I only have one. This was in the store. It was, I think, $1.50 off. And this is all albacore, Wild Planet, which is, you know, the best, sustainably caught. This was, how much? It was just outrageous. I think it was like $6. You know, when I was a kid, we could pick up these for 50 cents or something. And of course, that's just in the 70s and 80s. That's just when things started, you know, going to hell. But I do have some lemon pepper. It's just, I bought these for quick meals for my daughter, and she doesn't use them, and so I might as well just throw them in here, even though I don't really want a lemon pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these. So I'm gonna do that pretty soon. But I had to buy some celery, so I'm gonna wash a couple ribs of celery and cut that. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so anyway, how are all of you guys doing? Do you guys eat tuna salad? I think, you know, I used to eat a lot more of it when it was, you know, it was a cheap meal, and I ate a lot of it in the hospital. They made some really good tuna salad. I can't stand it when it's sweet. I don't like it when people add Miracle Whip or salad dressing, whatever you guys want to call it. I can't stand potato salad that way, egg salad that way. None of that way. And I do like my veggies to be tiny. Sometimes I get really lazy, but I have learned from the hospital when I was going through occupational therapy that, excuse me, I'm just sweating. I've got the fan right here. Hope it's not bothering you too much. That sit down. So I have a chair in my kitchen, and I set up my cutting board, and I've got like my little throwaway bag for the compost, although I don't always throw, well, I should throw everything in there. I should just throw everything in there. But my composts are full, or my 2 bays are full. And so I have, anyway, I digress. I've got everything set up here. So I can sit here and I make the dog food here. I cut up things for the dog food because every time I make dog food, or every time I make it for them, I'm chopping up the veggies raw for them. And the garlic and has to sit out for a while so it's not too toxic, and the ginger. So I'm gonna put some celery. I even sharpened my knife. And washed my cutting board from this morning. Of course, I did that this morning, but I had to wash it again. Somebody put crumbs on it or something. So I do need to come up with some meals that my daughter will eat, because they're closing her store, and they basically either, you know, she was going to be without a job, or she could move to a different store. But so she decided, until she could find something else, she'd move to a different store, but it's not as a manager. So things are going to be really, really tight for a while, because it's not full time and it's not her manager position. And I'm still fighting with my insurance company to get the stuff that I need. And is well deserved. That should be coming, because then, you know, we would be doing pretty good if I got my long-term disability from my employer. And they were paying for a while. Life. So anyway, I'm making this. So I'm going to finish this up, catch you in a minute. I don't want to bore you with this. I'm already at my gate. I did want to share this. My second round zucchini. I didn't think any of these sprouted in the garden. I thought it was the lemon yellow one, and I don't know if there's going to be much difference in taste between the two, but all of a sudden I saw this. Now the other one I found was twice as big, so it was a little bit more mealier in the middle. My dogs got that. It lasted them 2 big containers of Instapot containers, because I give them other veggies besides just the zucchini. But here's the little one that I think I just took the top off. But I'm gonna try some a raw. Well, I'm gonna cut it up raw for my salad. But what my favorite way of making zucchini is with scrambled eggs. So like onions, tomatoes, and zucchini with scrambled eggs. Try it sometime. It's just delish. The 3 veggies together. I don't know like what the big difference would be in having this round. It definitely, I was kind of hoping it would be a little easier. Oops, sorry. But I will tell you that like wouldn't these be great panko fried? I think that would be so much easier than the skinny ones. So I'm going to try that. There's tons of flowers on this plant, so I'm probably going to harvest quite a few of them. These are yummy. Wow. Much more flavorful than like the Black Beauty or any other zucchini. More flavor. Get them when they're little. Very tender. This is going to be really good in the salad. I would think that if you did matchsticks like this with some ranch dressing, I'm wondering if my granddaughter would like it. I don't know. She likes cucumbers. Minimally. Anything with ranch, right? But I might have to try this on her. Very, very good. I will grow these again instead of like a straight. I think I have some straight neck that's coming up in the garden, so I'll have to do a taste test. Some Black Beauty seeds at the last minute. I just decided to sprout them, and they all sprouted. So I still have some that aren't planted, so I don't know where in the heck they're going. Okay, so I've got my celery, my onion, my zucchini. That's really lovely. And I'm now cutting up my my dill pickles. I had some hamburger slices that I had gotten on sale, and I dry them off with a paper towel. Even though I love pickle juice, I don't want my salad to get too wet because all the vegetables that are in there are just going to release water, and then the pickles will continue to release liquid, and the more it sets in the fridge. I do like tomatoes, but I don't put tomatoes in and let it set because it will get smushy. I don't know about you guys. Everybody makes, now my family and well myself love dill pickles in their salads. So whether it's potato salad, egg salad, chicken salad, I don't use gherkins or anything. I don't use the sweet pickles, although occasionally I do, because it reminds me of my grandmother. My grandmother made sweet pickles, and my other grandmother would put sweet pickles in her chicken salad with some walnuts occasionally. But then she knew how much we love dill, so she would do that. I then put some mayo in there. There's definitely a lot of veggies. I have Himalayan salt. I believe it or not, I'm one of the lucky people in the world, and it's really not that lucky. But I can have as much salt as I want. I have very low sodium levels. Hyponatremic is what it's called. It's actually quite dangerous if you're not careful. So I'm getting sodium tested all the time. It's landed me I was about to say it's landed me in prison. I feel like it's in prison, but it's landed me in the hospital several times. And then some really good cracked pepper. Why don't I have the Himalayan salt on this side? Because I can't seem to get this one off. And this one I can. I do fine with pepper, but this one, I don't know. Love a lot of cracked pepper. A lot of cracked pepper. Now, I love my salad on lettuce. I love my salad on just saltines. I prefer a more seeded cracker, something that doesn't have as much gluten in it. But I also love a darn good bread. I don't have any with me. Actually, I have a stone. I'll have something different. I'm going to have to taste this because this has got the lemon pepper in it. Because otherwise I wouldn't have had enough. So let me give it a taste and see if I'm missing anything. See if I really hate the lemon pepper. Well, it needs beaten. The dogs are at my feet just begging me for some. Definitely needs to sit in the fridge. Okay, I barely taste the lemon pepper now that everything's mixed. And this is a clean paper towel. It's not the pickle juice. Definitely needs some more salt. I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and there we go. Oh, parsley. That's right. I have my homegrown parsley. So that is done. One thing done in the kitchen. Tell me, what is your quick thing to make? Although it wasn't that quick since I was making a video. Oh, it's cooler right here. Leaning like that. Oh, the dogs moved the fan. That's why. Bye.